In this video, we'll walk through the steps on how to create and manage funds in Nucleus. Some churches call them designations. Whatever your church calls them, funds are simply a way to organize financial transactions with your church. And in the case of giving, a way for people to choose for themselves an area to donate to specifically when they give. Now, it's important to note that funds you create for your church's Nucleus can be used in some capacity in 3 areas of Nucleus: Nucleus Flows, Nucleus Giving, and the Church Settings Financial Account area. Let's walk through each of these areas, starting with Church Settings, which is where you create and initially manage funds. Once in Church Settings, look for the Financial Account tab and then click Funds. Here is where your master list of funds lives. You'll see one fund there already, and that is the default general fund. This will always be on and cannot be turned off, as every transaction has to be assigned to some fund. However, you can change the name of the general fund if you'd like, but it's important to always have at least one fund active at all times. To add a new fund, click Add New on the top right of the screen. Here, you'll add the title of the fund. We'll add missions in this example. You'll also choose whether or not it is tax deductible. A quick note on this option: for most churches in the US and Canada, almost all of your funds will be tax deductible, since even payments made through flows are often suggested donations. However, the way you set these up is unique to each church and falls outside our ability to advise, so if you have questions about the tax deductible part, you can always ask your CPA or financial advisor. For now, it's mostly just important for you to know that for annual tax statements in Nucleus, any transactions assigned to a non-tax deductible fund are not shown on statements by default, though you can choose to show them separately in a non-deductible area of their statements if you like. More on that in another video. Continuing with adding this new missions fund, you can also choose where this fund will be used. For now, you can choose to make it available in Just Giving, Just Flows, or both. For our missions fund, we'll make it accessible only for giving. Don't forget to click Add. Now, let's head over to Nucleus Giving, click Manage in the top nav area, then click Giving Flow, and then hit the Funds tab. You'll see here our new fund we just added for missions, but since it's a new fund we just added, it's hidden by default. We'd like people to be able to choose this fund in the giving flow as they create a one-time or recurring gift, so we'll set it to always shown. We'll also put it right below the general fund, so it displays in this order to people. Now, let's save those changes. You might have noticed there's also a main tab in Nucleus Giving called Funds. This place shows a list of all the funds that have been assigned to be available in giving, and while it's easy on the main transaction page to run a report to see all giving to one fund, by clicking into a fund page here in Giving, you can see additional information all in one place. More specifically, you can quickly see a list of fund activity, including transactions, scheduled giving, including recurring giving, and people who have given to this fund. It's really helpful, and you can even download a quick report to see stats for that fund. Finally, let's talk about funds in Nucleus Flows. Here, it's pretty simple. If you have a flow set up for taking payments for an event, let's say, on the payment step, you'll choose which fund transactions made through that flow will be assigned to. Additionally, if people chose an offline payment method to pay later with cash or check, you can add a record of their payment once you receive it to their submission, and it will all be tracked towards that fund. Now, if you ever need to deactivate the fund or make changes, that's also easy. Just jump back to Church Settings, click Edit Fund, then click Actions on the right-hand side and choose Deactivate. This will stop people from being able to give to that fund. You can always reactivate the fund at any time. That's the basics on how you create and manage funds. Enjoy.